Liberty with a football at their own 20. They now trail by 2 touchdowns. In motion to the right is Dan Anderson. The lone setback, Ascione. He has the football running right, and now he breaks a couple of tackles. He fumbles it, but picked up by a lineman. It looked like a Lancer picked that up. That might have been
78, Steve Bannon, it looks like.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, Ascione is definitely not healthy. I don't know how much longer Coach Geddes is going to keep him out there. He does get to the 23-yard line, and now he's limping off again. And, I mean, this kid, you've got to credit him. He's a warrior. He doesn't want to come out of the game. But at this point, he might be hurting his team. That's the second time that he's dropped the football, one on a pitch and the other one on a standard handoff. And it might be better for him to just come out a few plays and not come in until the third quarter. There's nothing much you can do. I mean, when the ankle says no, the ankle says no. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 23-yard line. Now the setback is Brandon Wilson. In motion to the right is Anderson. Matthijs looking left, throwing. The pass is caught at the 30, but backtracking is Watson, and he's not going to get the first down unless he got to that 30, knocked out of bounds by Shield. He backtracked to the 27. They'll mark the spot at, I believe, the 29-yard line. And, nope, they'll give him the 30. That's a first down. It's a gain of 7. And if he went out of bounds, which he did, the clock stopped, so that's a smart play by Watson, at least at the end, after nearly taking the momentum away from his team there. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Liberty at their own 30-yard line. Wilson, the lone setback. Matthijs throwing to the right, incomplete. Intended at the 37 for Dan Anderson. Chris Lepstock was in on the coverage, but that quick drop just didn't work. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And Bob, you and I were talking on the way that one advantage the Mustangs had, we thought they had a steadier defense than Liberty, and that's proven to be true so far. They've made more big plays.
Exactly. They've done a great job. They made some adjustments here on defense too today. Mitch Hayward's back in there replacing Josh Frank.
Oh, and Mitch Hayward throws down Brandon Wilson on the shovel pass. A gain of 2, and Hayward read it beautifully. We cannot underestimate what this sophomore has done, Bob. We're talking about a kid who had no varsity playing time before this year, and he's had a sensational year on both sides of the football, and that time he came up big.
Exactly, playing offense as well as defense, playing both ways here today, doing a great job.
It'll be 3rd down and 8 for Liberty at their own 32-yard line. They desperately need a score, trailing by 14 with 1:40 to go before the break. They've got 2 receivers to the left. Brandon Wilson, the flanker, in a shotgun formation. Matthijs rolling to his left, still rolling, goes deep down the middle. A man is wide open. It is caught at the 22-yard line by the diving Daniel Watson. Holy Mahungus, the Mustangs. Again, just blowing the coverage. They had a chance there. It's a gain of 45.
Great pass. Great pass.
Well, it was a good pass because had it been great, it would have led the receiver and he wouldn't have had to dive, but that's what happened from the 23. Quick drop, throw to the left, complete to Watson, and he tried to break a tackle, but Dusty Quick tackles him out of bounds at the 20. Well, the Fort Morgan secondary's been exposed a couple of times here. The Mustangs this year have allowed their share of touchdowns before the break, mainly towards the beginning of the season. They've done a better job, especially last week when Pueblo County had 1st and goal for the 1, and Fort Morgan kept them out of the end zone.
Great defensive effort there.
They'll try to do the same here. 2nd and 7 from the 20. The lone setback is not Ascione. Quick drop, throw to the left, knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Nickel. John Nickel got his right hand up. He batted that baby down as if he was playing volleyball. Ed Bryant, by the way, was that lone setback whose number I could not get until after the play. It'll be 3rd down and 7. And this might be 4-down territory for the Lancers. Bryant checks out. Wasson, who had to take a breather, is back in. He'll be the outside receiver to the right. To his left will be Dan Anderson. On third down, shotgun formation. Matthijs again stepping right. Stopping, rolling to his left. Here comes Nickel. Can't get to him yet. He throws off his back foot. Incomplete. He threw it away. And again, John Nickel gets in that backfield, puts the pressure on along with A.J. Quinn. And it'll be 4th down and 7 to go. And the biggest decision of the game here for Liberty coach Richard Geddes.
Great pass protection on that last play by the Mustangs.
It looks like Wasson is going to attempt the field goal. He already missed from 37 yards, and this one will be from 37 yards again on the left hash mark, off the hold of Ryan Matthijs. He awaits the snap. It is down. He boots it. It's a beautiful kick. That looks good from here, and it is. A minute 1 to go before the break. It is Fort Morgan 28, Liberty 17. We return in 30 on B106. 9 plays, 57 yards, in 2 minutes and 8 seconds for Liberty. Daniel Wasson does convert from 37 yards on the field goal. He's now 1 out of 2. But Liberty still trails by 11. And here come the Mustangs on special teams. They're ready. Let's see if Wasson decides to squib this thing. He doesn't want the big return. He'll just boot it, and he's got a strong leg. That's going to go well over the head of David Marquez. And the Mustangs take over at their own 20-yard line. Bob, you figure with an offensive shootout, Fort Morgan, I believe, has 2 timeouts remaining. I mean, what do? Do you decide to air it out or keep it on the ground? I mean, that's the decision, obviously, the coaches have to make. They will get the football first in the second half, so what would you do?
Oh, I think they'll try something a little off the wall, you know, like a reverse and a few of the razzle-dazzle stuff. That's just a wild guess there,
Well,
Tom.
I think they're just going to give it to Dusty here, and if he doesn't get big yardage, they'll just run out the clock. And now we have a Lancer running off the field late. Trying to get off was Chris Petty. And let's check how many they have out there. They have 11, so is that flag? Yeah, that flag's going to be against Liberty.
Hike the ball, you bonehead!
It'll be 1st down and 5.
Infraction on Liberty. They didn't hike the ball! Defense, no!
I'd have to agree with some of the fans
Yeah,
on that one.
the Liberty fans, I think, are right about that. Meeting that play with great approval, by the way. 1st and 5 from the 25-yard line. Dusty quick in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left. The pitch left to Dusty. Trying to find a seam to the outside. Cuts it back towards the middle. He's down at the 28-yard line. The open field tackle was made by Walter Pape. Will the Mustangs take a timeout? I do see a timeout signaled. It will be called by Fort Morgan. Gain of 4. We'll keep it right here. And in case you missed it, Dusty has gone over the 7,000-yard mark in his career. He's also scored 2 touchdowns. That gives him 40 this season. And 40 this season, Bob, and 102 touchdowns as a Mustang. I mean, this kid is just putting up gargantuan numbers.
He just continues to amaze everybody.
So the Mustangs have 51 ticks remaining. And we know that both secondaries have been exposed today. Obviously, the Mustangs do not go to the pass as much as Liberty. But when they have gone to the pass, they've been able to throw successfully underneath and, of course, over the top with that 78-yard score on the game's 3rd play for Fort Morgan, that is, because they were on defense first, and that was from Keith to Shield. They hold a 28-17 advantage, so maybe the coaches are thinking over there that if they can score here and then receive the second half kickoff, that they could really put a nail in the coffin early in the 3rd. It'll be 2nd down and 1. The Mustangs changing personnel. Seth Underwood is now the center. They've got depth now on that offensive line. The handoff to Dusty, left side, and he's got a 1st down, but he slips at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Fort Morgan will now go with a hurry-up. The clock does stop for the movement of the chains. It's 47 seconds remaining, and now they'll have to hurry. Dusty, the lone setback, 3 receivers to the right. We're at 42 seconds. He'll now go in motion to the right. Keefe is back to pass. Looks, he's going to be sacked. He fumbled the football! Gallivan, can he fall on it, or does Liberty have it? Oh, I believe the Lancers have it. at the 20-yard line? Yes, they do. That was recovered by Scott Goodrich. Oh, Bob, a huge mistake by Keith. Instead of taking the sack, he tried to shovel it off in the backfield to Showerman.
Exactly. He tried that once before and got away with it, and then another time he got in trouble with it too. But they got the ball back.
32 seconds to go in the first half. This could change the game. From the Mustang 20. The shotgun formation. Matthijs rolling left. Setting up. Throwing into the end zone. Incomplete. Oh, through the hands of Brandon Wilson. He was wide open. David Marquez was the closest Mustang. Oh, Wilson should have had it. I think he knows he should have had that, but he did not make the play. It'll be second down with 26 seconds to go. Let's see if Fort Morgan can dodge the bullet. And I don't think the Mustang coaches are going to regret trying to move the football before the half. They thought they had a legitimate shot. Second down and 10. Rolling left is Matthijs. Throwing underneath. Caught by Ascione. And can he get out of bounds? The answer is no. He did not. To the 15-yard line. And Liberty uses their last timeout. Great play by David Marquez. We'll take a 30-second break with 16 ticks remaining before halftime. 28-17 Fort Morgan on B106. John Beltran back with Bob Baier and Cecile Carruth. Just before halftime, 28-17. The Mustangs in the lead. But Ryan Keefe, who was sacked, fumbled the football. It was recovered by Liberty's Scott Goodrich. And now the Lancers trying to close to within 4, perhaps 3. A huge play here. Third down and 5 from the Mustang 15-yard line. Anderson and Wilson, the receivers, to the right. Wasson to the left. Shotgun formation for Matthijs. Back to pass. Rolling to his right. Standing at the 25. Here comes the pressure. Now he's going to flush out to the right. He'll throw across his body. Wide open. Caught. A touchdown by Daniel Wasson. Wide open in the middle of the end zone. And they have scored with 8 seconds to go before halftime. It is Fort Morgan 28, Liberty 23. 15 yards away. Here comes the extra point by Daniel Wasson. Off the hold of Matthijs. It is up, and that is through. 8 seconds left. We're not going anywhere. 28-24. 52 points scored in the first half.
That was a big turnover, John.
You can say that again. But then again, Bob, you know, you're right before halftime. If you can't make the play, you can't make the play. And the Mustangs tried to force it there. So you pay the price for trying to do too much with nothing at all. And once Ryan was hit, he should have just eaten that ball and said, hey, let's go into halftime with an 11-point lead. Instead, they're going to go into the break with a 4-point lead. So that's the way the cookie crumbles and the ball bounces. Now Wasson will probably just boot this thing into the end zone. He's done it every time. The Mustangs had just 17 points last week and have eclipsed that big time. But they allowed just 7 last week, and they've given up a lot more. And that football is just driven 9 yards deep, and we have a late flag.
Yeah,
it looks like Isaac Ailman of Fort Morgan and Brian Krusmark of Liberty were going after it, and going at it, I should say, after the play. It'll be a personal foul one way or the other. Or it might be against both. Oh, a clip.
Yeah.
Wow, against Liberty. But that doesn't really matter, Bob. I don't think the Mustangs, they might just run one play. Now, if you remember last year against Valley, I think Fort Morgan had the football shy of the 50-yard line, or at about the 40, and they just ran Dusty for one play, and he went the distance. Not that that's going to happen here, but you might as well try it instead of take a knee. He's already gone well over 100 yards here in the first half.
Well, with what happened in the last series, I might be inclined to think, let's get this over with and get in the locker room.
Well, you can look at it that way, too. But, Bob, it'll be safe to say that adjustments will be the theme of halftime on both sides defensively. Because when you have all these yards being gained, all these points being scored, and what's going to happen here is that the Mustangs will receive the kickoff once again from the 40, or does that go? That should go to the 25 then if it's a clip. It will go to the 25, and that's where Wasson will kick it off. Well, be a nice time for the first special team score of the year.
Exactly. We haven't had one of those.
Nope, not since, and you weren't even around last year. That was 1 week you were gone when Dusty went 95 yards.
Over at
the game's opening kickoff, no, it was against Alameda at home.
Alameda. All right. Well, we're due, John.
I tell you what, I think if you're Liberty here, I wouldn't kick this thing off. I would squib it. You squib the football, and you don't allow that big return by either Quick or Marquez. However, what the Mustangs are doing, Bob, look at this. Their last set of defenders are at their own 45, and Dusty and Marquez are standing at their 12. So they're not going to allow for a squib kick, at least to go for poor field position. They want to make sure that Wasson kicks this baby deep. And he's lined up like he's just going to pound his right leg into it. And he will squib it. And he'll squib it. It'll be fielded by Marquez at the 17. Straight ahead to the 20, now to the 30. Outside to the 35. Trying to go across the field. And he's got to set the man to the 40. He's at the 50. Marquez knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. A great return, but the first half clock has run out. For Morgan 28, Liberty 24. It is halftime. We're back in 3 minutes on B106.